In the peaceful valleys of Buner, life once moved with calm simplicity. Children played in the fields, families gathered in warmth, and farmers tilled their land with hope. But in one night, everything changed. Torrential rains unleashed a fury never seen before. Rivers overflowed, houses crumbled, and entire villages disappeared under the raging waters. Nearly 400 precious lives passed away in this tragedy. In the serene valleys of Buner, life once moved to an ancient, gentle rhythm. Here in the village of Chagharzai, community was not just a word, but the very fabric of existence. Families like the Shahs were pillars, their roots running as deep as the mountains that cradled them. Their laughter echoed in the courtyards, their wisdom was shared over cups of tea, and their future seemed as solid as the earth beneath their feet. They were a testament to a life built on connection, faith, and the simple promise of another sunrise. But on one fateful night, the sky wept with a fury no one could have foreseen. The mountains, once protectors, unleashed a torrent that descended without warning. It was not a slow creep, but a sudden, violent roar that tore through the heart of the sleeping village. The sounds of the night, the crickets, the gentle wind, were swallowed by the thunderous crash of water and earth. In those terrifying moments, the foundations of homes and of lives were ripped apart with indiscriminate power, leaving a void of silence in its wake. In the midst of this chaos, tragedy struck the family of Syed Masaud Shah with a cruelty that is difficult to comprehend. As the sun rose on a landscape of ruin, the devastating truth began to dawn. It wasn't one or two loved ones lost to the deluge, it was 22. 22 members of his family, his blood, his world, were gone. In a single night, he lost the elders who held the family's history in their stories, the brothers and sisters who were his daily companions, and the children whose laughter was the music of his home. An entire lineage, a vibrant tapestry of lives woven together through decades of shared experience had been erased. Now all that remains are fragments. A piece of a wall that once enclosed a home filled with love, a child's shoe half buried in the mud, and this, a single, water-damaged photograph. In the trembling hands of Syed Masaud Shah, this fragile paper is heavier than any stone. It is a portal to a world that no longer exists. Each face, blurred by the very water that took them, stares back, a ghost of a memory, a whisper of a life. To hold this is to hold the sum of all that has been lost, a final, heartbreaking testament to generations of love and hope, wiped away in the blink of an eye. The sorrow of this family is not theirs alone. It is the sorrow of all Buner. In these tight-knit communities, every neighbor is a cousin, every friend a brother. The loss of the Shah family is a wound felt in every household, a silence that hangs over the entire valley. Their names are whispered in prayers, their stories retold with heavy hearts. This shared grief, however, becomes a powerful unifying force. It is a solemn promise that no one will be left to rebuild alone, that the memories of the 22 souls lost will become the seeds of resilience, and that from the deepest sorrow, the spirit of Buner will somehow find a way to rise again. 4 regions, Pir Baba, Gokand, Toopdara, and Chagharzai, were devastated. In Pir Baba's Bashoni village, not a single home was spared. The entire settlement was wiped away, and in Batayi village, the funeral prayers of 50 souls were offered together, a sight too heavy for the heart to bear. Buner drowned not just in water, but in sorrow. Families lost their homes, their memories, their futures. Yet, even as the water surged, swallowing homes and histories, something else began to rise from the depths of this despair. It wasn't a sound of destruction, but one of defiance. The distant hum of a boat engine, a voice calling out across the water. In this sea of grief, humanity was stirring, refusing to be drowned. Before the first official aid trucks could even map a passable route, the first wave of help was already on the move. It was the people themselves. Neighbors, who had lost nearly everything, now risked the little they had left, their own lives, to save others. Young men from nearby villages, armed with ropes and raw courage, waded into treacherous currents, forming human chains to guide the elderly and children to higher ground. They were the first responders, the unsung heroes whose names might never make the headlines, but whose actions formed the very bedrock of the rescue effort. Soon, their efforts were bolstered by organized reinforcements. The distinctive vests of Alkhidmat volunteers became a symbol of imminent relief. Teams from Alkhidmat Buner and Alkhidmat Mardan, veterans of countless emergencies, arrived with a practiced efficiency that cut through the chaos. They didn't just bring supplies, they brought a system. Mobile kitchens were set up almost instantly, the aroma of hot food cutting through the damp air. a scent of normalcy in an upended world. Medical camps were established, tending to injuries, preventing the spread of waterborne diseases, and offering a comforting word to those in shock. They were a well-oiled machine of compassion, delivering not just aid, but dignity. Then came the formidable presence of the Pakistan Army. Their arrival signaled a new scale of operation. Heavy-duty rescue boats sliced through waters that had been impassable just hours before. Engineers worked tirelessly, deploying machinery to clear debris-choked roads, reopening vital arteries for aid to flow. Above, the rhythmic thumping of helicopter blades became a soundtrack of salvation, airlifting families stranded on isolated rooftops, plucking them from the jaws of the flood. Their discipline and resources brought a crucial sense of order and power to the fight, assuring the terrified populace that they would not be abandoned. These forces, the local volunteer, the organized NGO, the National Army, didn't work in isolation. They converged, creating a powerful multi-layered network of hope. A soldier would pull a child from the water and hand them to an Alkhidmat volunteer, who would wrap them in a warm blanket and lead them to a makeshift shelter where a local family was already sharing their own food. It was a seamless tapestry of human kindness, woven in real time amidst the devastation. In this crucible of crisis, old social structures melted away. Strangers became brothers, their shared ordeal forging an unbreakable bond. Neighbors, who might have only exchanged passing pleasantries before, now became literal lifelines, their hands clasped together against the current. In every broken wall, there was a hand reaching out, not just to pull someone to safety, but to offer comfort, to share a burden. In every tear shed, there was no longer just sorrow, but a shared prayer for hope, a collective whisper that tomorrow would be better. The flood had taken their homes, but it had given them each other, revealing a foundation far stronger than any concrete. Buner may have been shattered by the flood, but its spirit remains unbroken. From the ruins, life will rise again, because no storm is stronger than the courage of its people. The waters may have receded, but they have left behind a landscape of profound loss and a silence that echoes where homes once stood. In the heart of Buner, the immediate terrifying danger has passed, but the crisis of survival has just begun. We have seen the images, we have heard the stories, and we have offered our prayers, but prayers alone are not enough to shield a child from the cold night air, nor can they fill an empty stomach or rebuild a shattered life. Now is the time for our prayers to take form, to become action, to become the tangible hope that these communities so desperately need. Hundreds of families are now homeless, their lives packed into temporary shelters, their memories buried under layers of mud and debris. Children, who should be in school or playing in the fields, are hungry and uncertain, their young eyes having witnessed a tragedy no one should ever have to endure. The survivors, having weathered the storm, are now waiting for relief, for a sign that they have not been forgotten. This is a call to our shared humanity, a call to extend your hand across the distance and become a lifeline. Your support can provide the most fundamental necessities. It can provide emergency shelter kits, giving families a private, secure space to rest and begin to heal. It can provide critical food packages, filled with essentials like flour, lentils, oil, and sugar, ensuring no child goes to sleep hungry. It can provide clean drinking water, a simple yet powerful defense against the waterborne diseases that so often follow a flood. And it can provide basic medical supplies, bandages for the injured, antiseptics for the wounds, and fever medicine for the sick. These are not just items, they are instruments of survival and dignity. They are the first, crucial steps on the long road to recovery, a road that no one should have to walk alone. Your contribution, no matter its size, has a direct and powerful impact. A small gift can become a hygiene kit, restoring a sense of normalcy and preventing illness. A larger donation can ensure a family has enough food to last for weeks, or provide the materials needed to build a temporary shelter against the elements. We are committed to ensuring that every dollar is used effectively, reaching those who need it most with transparency and accountability. This is more than a donation, it is an investment in resilience, a statement of solidarity. It is your way of telling the people of Buner that their struggle is our struggle, and their hope is our hope. Please visit our website or use the information on your screen to give what you can. Beyond the immediate needs, your help will plant the seeds for a new beginning. It will help rebuild not just houses but livelihoods. It will provide farmers with the tools and seeds to cultivate their land once more. It will help small shopkeepers restock their shelves and reopen their doors. It will help repair the schools, so that the laughter of children can once again fill the classrooms. Together we can do more than just mend what was broken. We can help build a stronger, more resilient Buner. We can transform this moment of devastation into a testament to the power of human compassion. Let us join hands and show the world that even after the darkest storm, the sun can and will rise again. Together, we can bring hope back to Buner. Please, share this message. Your voice can amplify this call for help, reaching hearts and inspiring action far and wide.